I had a request come in to dig a bit deeper into my thoughts on supplements and, like if I had a top 10 or whatever, what would they be and whatnot. And not to burst no bubbles, but I definitely don't have a top 10. Hell, I've only tried four different ones in my whole life anyway. But nonetheless, here's some of my thoughts on supplements in general and of the four that I have tried. So, for me personally, by the time I was even trying to pursue this thing as a practice and even figured out that there was supplements out there and all that, I was already having lucid dreams, at a pretty steady clip, like just once I started having them in my early teens or whatever, I was having them at like a once a month clip, just whatever throughout my life, no matter what. So when I started pursuing it, on purpose and trying to have them more often and, do my practice with it and take it in different directions and whatnot, um, trying to get supplements to encourage that just wasn't a main focus of mine. My main focus was on the practice and, like reality checks, meditation. I was going more that route. That being said, what do I feel is the most strongest and best supplement out there? Well, I wouldn't say best, but definitely the most strongest supplement out there. I would have to say it's going to be Glanthamine. It's probably the most popular one. Um, some of the problems with Glanthamine, though, is like the half life on it, or like the rate your body processes that shit. So, like when it's peaking and when it's working for you, is short. So you have to do it with the wake back to bed method. You got to wake up, you got to take it and go back to sleep. The problem with Glanthamine is it fires up my brain so much that, at least half the time I would take it or half the time I do take it because I still have a bottle, in the cabinet and whatnot. But when I take it, half the time it keeps me awake. So I generally kind of shy away from it. On top of that, when I do take it, it has to be, done in a really, like smooth manner. Like I can't wake up, walk to the cabinet, take it, drink some water, and go back to bed because I'll just be too awake and I don't want to go back to sleep. So to do that for me with galantamine, I have to keep it like on me, like in my pocket or something like that. I'll set an alarm generally. So I guess I should say this too. If I'm ever using galantamine now, it's really for like a specific purpose. Either I'm in like some crazy drought and I'm just, whatever, starved or having a lucid dream for some reason, or I've been trying to pursue something for, weeks or months and, I'm just getting sick of trying it, the normal way. So I'm going to try to supplement it with galantamine. So the way I would do that is I'd keep the galantamine on me, set my alarm, wake up, at least 3 hours into sleep, if not, 4.5, 6 hour mark is good. The thing is, though, you have to make sure you fall back asleep after you've taken this. So to me, if I take it at the 6 hour mark, honestly, I'm probably going to be too awake at that point that I won't fall asleep. So normally I would shoot for like the, 3, 4.5 hour mark, something like that. So I would take it, and the one cool thing about galantamine is that it doesn't taste that bad. So you can actually just like have it in your pocket, put it in your mouth with no water, nothing, just let that bitch dissolve, and then just go to sleep. So that's basically how I have to do it, because if I wake myself up any more than that, I'm pretty much guaranteed going to be stuck awake because my mind's just going to be firing too much. I'll be awake for an hour, hour and a half. I've completely processed that shit by that time, and then I finally fall asleep, and the galantamine at that point is basically useless, right? So, that said, though, the times I have taken galantamine, fallen asleep, those have been some of my most profound, like sturdiest, solid, like stable type of lucid dreams. So galantamine absolutely works. Um, my favorite one in general, though, is time release B6, and I like that one specifically because it's just a regular vitamin. It's time release too, so it's easy to take. You can just take it, anytime, generally before bed, and it's gonna work all night long. So that one I like. It's kind of weak, but to me, it's just strong enough to make a noticeable difference, right? Where galantamine, galantamine makes a big ass difference. B6 makes a slight difference, but also it's easier to take and it's just a regular vitamin. So hell, I would take that shit every night. I mean, if I feel like it, right? I wouldn't have no problems with that. Although B6 poisoning is a thing, so be aware of all that. Don't be like cracking a bunch of multivitamins and then also taking a B6, so you might just get B6 poisoning. Um, what's the other one? Mugwort. I like Mugwort. Mugwort's actually new to me, as totally popular as that is within the community and all that. I only tried Mugwort, a couple years ago. Like for the longest time, it was just time release B6 or Glanthamine. Then a couple years ago, I finally always heard of Mugwort. Thought I'll give it a shot, and I like it. Mugwort to me seems kind of like B6. It seems about as strong as B6 to me. But the problem with it and why I like B6 more than that is I've never found a time release version of Mugwort. If they did, hell, point me in that direction. I should try Google it because I never Googled that shit. But it's kind of harder to take. So it seems like if I take the Mugwort, go to sleep, and I start, really getting my dreams going 6 hours into sleeping. At that point, it kind of seems to me like the Mugwort's worn off already, right? So I like Mugwort more for hypnagogic type stuff where I can, hit that state really quick, and it kind of seems to work for that. I can't really tell how strong it is for hypnagogy and stuff like that. I've tried doing it. I normally do the pill version. I've tried doing it the incense version. Couldn't really tell too much of a difference, honestly, but Mugwort does seem to work in making the dreams or visions and stuff more clear to some degree. And then we have Alpha Brain, which is not even really a lucid dreaming thing. It's just something I kind of stumbled into, for other reasons. Basically, Joe Rogan sold me on that shit when he used to sell it on it. He used to always bring it up on his podcast. Bought it this is a long time ago. So this is about the time when I was first getting into this stuff, maybe. So 2013-ish, 2014. And I really found it out on accident. I took the Alpha Brain kind of later on in the evening, and then I went to sleep. And not expecting anything, and my dreams just went off that night. And I was like, oh, that was kind of weird. And then I went ahead and tried it again a subsequent night, and it seemed to happen again. Then I hopped on, started Googling shit, and I found out, oh, there's actually a whole, there was a subreddit page about how it was good for lucid dreaming and stuff like that. So I definitely thought that worked. But again, it didn't seem as strong as Glanthamine. It seemed a little bit better than B6, but it was just so much more stupid expensive than everything else. It just, to me, was not worth it at all. You know what I mean? I would just rather take Glanthamine or just take the B6 and then just fucking roll with that and save some cash. But I did find Alpha Brain work pretty good on me. Again, though, I haven't taken it in a while, but I would assume it's the same thing where you probably process it pretty quick, so I don't think it would work all night. It'd be probably better used with Wake Back to Bed, even Mugwort too. I didn't really say this, but nowadays when I take Mugwort, because I can sleep off of Mugwort fine, I'll do the Wake Back to Bed method with the Mugwort. You can even stack it. I've found personal success with time release B6, anytime before bed, because that shit just lasts all night no matter what. Then wake up at whatever point throughout the night, crack the Mugwort, then go back to sleep. And I've had pretty good success with that. So actually, that's the one I would use more often. If I'm really trying to pursue something before I ever tried Glanthamine, because like I said, most of the time that will keep me awake, or at least half the time or more it keeps me awake, I would do the kind of stacking with time release B6, followed up later on with Wake Back to Bed and Mugwort.